Hey, so I'm George Young, aka Farming George, farming in South Essex on a mixed farm, so with arable, with cows and also with trees as well, so some agroforestry. For me, the most important thing we need to focus on now to ensure that we have a really sustainable system of farming in 2030 is we must be focusing on nature within our farming systems. We have to be focusing on interconnecting not just our own farms, but all of the other farms as well. And this actually needs to be a kind of general change in planning law as well, because anytime there's any development and they have ecological offset areas, those also need to be all tied into a much, much greater network of nature about the entire UK. We're so close to an ecological precipice. Most people don't realise. People are finally noticing that there aren't bugs on the windscreen the same. And it's so much greater than that. We've got this massive ecological emergency going on, which is being massively ramped up by the fact that we're using a load of sprays and things like that. We have to move away from chemical agriculture entirely, in my view, to ensure that we help with that nature recovery, because climate change isn't going to be the thing that kills off humanity in the short term. I genuinely believe it's going to be biodiversity loss. So one of the big things, one of the bugbears I always had as a farmer was, we farm on marshland, so lots of our fields are all wiggly. What makes it easier is to say, well look, just forget all these wiggly bits and we'll cut a square in the middle, and it makes the farming really easy. And every single farmer has got, no one has perfectly square fields. Every farmer's got these weird dog legs somewhere or something like that. And I just think, right, let's take that out. It's probably a bit of a pain. If you've got a farm manager, they'll love you because they don't have to do the weird wiggly bit of a field anymore. And plant something interesting in there. Be that, it could be as simple as wildflowers. It could be as complex as a really diverse orchard. It could be some horticulture, maybe some market gardening in there. There are loads of options for what you do. But that is the first thing into agroecology for me. That's a really easy way, a really low cost and kind of convenient way of getting people to try something agroecological and look at what it can do. And I really think that will start infecting the person who's doing that and getting you excited and think, well, I've done it in this field and it's actually made the arable cropping in that field a huge amount easier. We've got another weird corner here, and actually, if we took a bit more out there, we could have a really straight and easy field. And it just suddenly, you'll entirely change the context of farming. So one of my biggest hopes for moving forward, and I think there's a bit of a movement behind this now, is I'm seeing quite a lot of new entrants coming into agriculture. And these are not people in their early 20s, they're people in their late 20s up to their mid 30s, realising that they don't like the job they're doing at the moment, realising that they're not really doing anything with their life and they want to actually do something meaningful. And getting that mindset of person coming into agriculture, those types of people realising they don't need a farm of 250 plus acres, but they can do something really cool on 5 acres. That mindset of people coming in and that growth of that kind of micro farming has an awful lot of really fantastic possibilities from a nutritional standpoint. So from people growing hyperlocal food for hyperlocal markets, that's really, really exciting. But the guys I know who are doing that stuff are absolutely embracing agroecology at the heart of their model. So that's farming with nature, absolutely the key point of what they're doing. And also food sovereignty, which is that idea of connecting the consumer with their food, making sure they know and understand why that food's grown, how that's food grown, that entire system. I think that's a really exciting little movement of farming that's growing at quite an exponential rate. And I think there could be some really exciting stuff coming out of that.